Good morning, everyone. Can everyone hear me? I'm not used to talking in a microphone like this, so hopefully I don't forget it and start slowly lowering my hand. Yeah, let me know. Okay. Yeah, my name is Viktor Hofstede. I'm a Servoy expert at Servoy. And with me is my colleague Rene van Veen. He is also a Servoy expert, but above all, he is the creator of the Servoy Cloud. And Harjo and Robert have asked us to present the Servoy Cloud and what it is and what it can do. But first of all, I'm curious, who has never heard of the Servoy Cloud before? I was thinking maybe one or two hands, but no hands is okay. Then I'll keep the explanation about that short. The Servoy Cloud is a way for us that we have created to get your Servoy application live in the cloud without you needing to have any knowledge of DevOps or the backend that comes with that. Who is using the Servoy Cloud currently? 3, 4 hands. Okay, I expected that too. Who is using NG client or Titanium client and not using Servoy Cloud? Okay, that's a lot. Okay, that's a lot. I expected something like that. Tough crowd in a thing. But we will show you how the Servoy Cloud works, and we're going to do that with a live demo. And I'm really scared of live demos because you know what happens. We practice it and then everything works, and then here nothing works. But Rene assured me that everything will work today.
Yesterday it did.
All right. And I started this presentation with how we want you to start. And that is on the Servoy website. There is a button in the top right or in the middle now that says start for free or get started now. And this will let you create a free trial for the Servoy Cloud. So you will get your own namespace. And a namespace in this case is your own environment. You will get your own Git repository to which you can commit your code. And the Servoy Cloud will build this code, this Servoy application, in the cloud so you can see it on a website straight away. So that's what I did. I created a small sample application, and you can show that. It is called ServoyCamp, and it probably looks very familiar. We see the data with total sales. We have some nice sales, some nice orders. We have the task manager with probably familiar data, Alfred's voederkisten. We see that all the time. And I created a summary page as well. And on this summary page, I put 3 buttons and the table again with Alfred at the top. 3 buttons, and I have a successful button that all works fine. I have a button that is broken. I probably made a mistake in my code here. I'm not too sure. And I have a button with that says slow, and this executes a query and downloads a CSV file. But this is very slow, and I'm not sure. My SQL is not that great, so I probably did something wrong here. And now I want to ask Rene. Maybe we can start with that broken button, because you told me that you can fix this using the Servoy Cloud.
Yeah. So.
Oh wait! Before you start, one more thing. I want to keep questions for at the end. Otherwise, I lose track of everything that I wanted to say. So please save questions for at the end. We do have some time reserved for it, because I expect questions. Sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
So first of all, Servoy Cloud. I will talk to you step to step what I'm doing and that's how it works. So I created an email address to have the same namespace that Victor created. I can log in into that one. Then I end up at a sort of dashboard. Because of the resolution, it looks a little bit strange. Okay. You see on the dashboard, you see the last activity of the pipeline. So in this case, I have a development environment and I have a production environment. When it was built successful, so you can see yesterday evening we were still busy to finish this demo, so all goes fine. Then we have the different environments. So there's also a production environment and there's a development environment where you can see the current users, what are currently live, logged in at that environment. So there are 2 users on the development part. There is one on the production with the environment and vision healthy. Then, going one step back, there is also a nice get help button. That's that thing what Ron was talking about. Probably I should raise my resolution a little bit. But here, this is the chat what we currently have with our documentation. So if you have any questions like, how do I set up a Servoy Cloud namespace? It will send those questions to OpenAI in this case with our feeded documentation, and it will give you an answer back like, hey, you should go specify a name to build your namespace, and all those steps what you need to do. It will tell you what to do. So it will also know something about Servoy itself. So you can ask like, how do I filter a found set, or how do I use with Servoy with specific things? It will answer those questions. Then going back to your original problem.
Yes, please.
If I go to applications you can have multiple applications, but in this case, Viktor created one application. What is the demo application? If we go into that one, is it still working? Yeah. We have two different tells, or three, but one of them that is for later. So we have pipelines. What is the build suite? So you can configure a job. What is building your application and putting it live? I will go into that one next later. And we have an environment, what is deployed. So in this case, we have two servers or two running the applications. One is the development, running version 15, and one is with the production, running version 6. What is an old version? Viktor didn't put it live, but hey, it runs. So if we go into this one, you get another tells what you can see. So you can see the user count. What will show you a chart of all. Probably I should zoom a little bit or something.
Yeah, the resolution. You're probably zoomed in because of the beamer, right?
Yeah. Beamers are never good before. You cannot practice that one.
But this is a lot better.
So you can see the number of users, what is logged in your application. You can filter it. You can do all that sort of things. But we want to keep it simple. The same for system health. You can see what is going on that server. So you can see, hey, what is my CPU usage of the last hour, or today, or the last week, or you can see everything. We don't have really detailed charts because that is something what we make easier in Servoy Cloud. What we say, yeah, you should not take care of that one. That's what we do, but we want to give you some information that you can see what is happening with your server. That's the same for RAM and the same for uptime and downtime. Then the nice thing is, for example, the log activity. So in this case, Viktor has an issue. The button is not working, and probably it's because there is a warning, and we should have a look there. Then if I click on that show more.
And the warning that we're seeing there is the one that was created when you just clicked on the button?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I click on that button, it parses that log error. It gets the correct path from your repository. It reads that file, and it highlights line 12, what is elements actually, but because of the zooming, it's a little bit off. It highlights the line what is broken. So this one is actually wrong and should be fixed.
Is that new?
Is that new? Is the question? New where?
I've never seen that.
In new in Servoy Cloud? Okay, maybe a good time to mention that this is our development environment of the cloud. So this will be put live soon.
Okay. We want that.
Okay, so the error on line 13, can anyone see what is wrong with it?
Elements,
I heard
rubric table, my found set, sort, country, ascending.
You can read the line. Okay. Well, Rene knows what is wrong with it, but I was thinking everyone here starts to debug it by themselves now. But Rene, maybe you can fix this error for us.
Country with an I?
No.
Should it be country, not county?
Huh?
Yes. Also, you spotted a new error. let's fix that error, Rene. Can you fix that?
Yeah. Then there is also what I also want to show you. like if I start now as Servoy developer, probably you all have seen that login window, what that is prompting you. Oh, that's what you get free with the new OS 6 version.
So you're logging in here with the same credentials as in Cloud Control Center,
Yeah.
right?
So when I log in, it gives me another pop-up like, hey, do you want to check out your Git repository? So I did nothing. Servoy developer said, hey, you are already connected with the Servoy Cloud, so do you want to work on this repository? If I say, okay. In the background, you see it is checking out from Servoy Cloud. It's cloning the Git repository, it's activating the solution and doing all the other things. Depends on how fast the internet connection is. But
It's supposedly very fast.
it should be fast. Here we go. Auto share, check out, building. Yeah. And here it is. So when I go back to my broken button on the summary, I have this one. Probably it should be country. And I don't know why you build it on because the name is building and I don't want to wait on that one. So it should be country. And I don't know why it is done on the grouping table itself. Because normally you say, yeah, just a found set version this one, the data source, from found set. So I would say do it like this.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Then probably no one knows what this button does. Everyone has seen it, but nobody knows what it does.
It says publish to Servoy Cloud.
Yeah. So when I press that one, I didn't practice it yesterday, so that's nice. I can enter a commit message. And then it is pushed into Servoy Cloud. So that means probably it takes a minute or something to check out if it needs to build it. So then when it started, and it checks the repository every minute, so probably 11:25 you will see a new build starting. It automatically sees a new Git commit, and it will start building that version. After feeding it works.
The microphone sometimes stops, but I think that the message came through. So you made from the developer, you fixed the error, and you committed that change to the repository of Servoy Cloud. And Servoy Cloud should pick this up now, right?
Yeah. If
So
I look
you see
here
the
at my
commit
Git
in there.
client, then I see my Git client, what I normally use, and I see this commit, what was this one, and then the other one will start building. So wait for that one. While that one is building, we can also have a look to
To that slow query. That
query what you have. So if I go to application again, I can go into query performance. So here I see all the queries, what is running on that environment. So I see here a query, probably it's this one, I don't know, but it looks slow.
It's not that slow,
It's
actually,
not that slow, but hey, it's hard to,
to come up with a slow query.
if you only have 100. If I go to show more, I see the query, and it looks strange because you have multi-lines there. But I have that nice AI thing there.
I like that icon. Is it a robot?
Yeah. So let's see what this one does. So in the background, we now feed it with all information. Like we feed it like what indexes does that database have, what tables do you have, what are the reference column type, how does Servoy work with the type of queries. Like if it's a custom one, we know it is sort of a load found set and so on. So then actually OpenAI gives back a nice answer, like, hey, probably you do something wrong because the query TCU we provided is doing a sort of self-join. What is better? So in this case, it told me like, hey, probably the query should look like this. Fine. So if I look here into the code, it's actually right because this one is a little bit off. So in this case, like the sample is more like you can use this tool like if you have a query running in your application and you don't really know how to fix that or how it works, it will give you advices or it will help you with advices like these are the needed indexes and these are the type of indexes what you have, and these are maybe you need a combination of different indexes.
Okay, so we can fix that slow query as well, and again through the same developer, of course.
Yeah.
Maybe we can check really quick if that build started from your recent commit. Looks like it hasn't started, but we can start one manually by clicking start, right? So, what do we see now? We see this thing pop up. What does it mean?
So now it queues a new build. That means it is in a sort of timeout where it needs to wait for, I think, 30 seconds or something before it starts building. That's more when multiple people commit to the same repository. You get a lot of builds where you sort of want to group them all at once. So there it is waiting for.
And after it's done waiting, it will start the building process.
Yeah. And it will deploy the new application into the cloud.
And we should see that live on that URL then straight away. It's going to take a few minutes. We could have, of course, faked this and pretended like it took 1 second and show the results, but that would be cheating. So we can wait for this build to complete. Maybe in the meantime we can see if anyone has a question now. Yes. I'll run over to you so you can have the mic.
Just to clarify on the SQL help that you were just getting, is it pulling in the Servoy relationship? So it's not using the SQL table relationships, but it's using Servoy's relationships. It understands the whole database structure from the Servoy level. Yes?
It currently looks into the database, but we're working on giving like informations about different relations what you can use. But then still for the database performance, it needs to be done on the database itself. So more indexes or how you read data, what you do there.
Sure, but obviously, if I create the backend in SQL, I may not create joins and foreign keys there, but I'll do it all in Servoy. So it needs that information from Servoy. So it doesn't do that yet.
No, but it's.
But in the end, the query that is executed shows the relations in there as well, even though it doesn't know the Servoy relation.
I've got two questions. First one, where you pass the information about your database and everything to the AI, is that a private AI instance, or will our database structure suddenly become public through ChatGPT learning from it?
Yeah. The API of the documentation is private. The other one is OpenAI 4.
So theoretically, our database structure then becomes public and can be used in other people's query where they ask about things. Well, we don't use it yet, but that was one of my concerns. The second query is relating to where you check out the code in Servoy Developer. As you know, we use the Servoy Cloud, but we store all of our code in Bitbucket.
Yeah.
Will it still work for that?
With Bitbucket, currently not, because we don't have that API yet there, but we can have a look there if we can.
Okay, thank you.
But still for you, we can sort of make it a mirror and then it will still work, so that's sort of easy.
So immediate feedback that we need to make that AI private, or at least show a message that it's not private.
And currently we don't feed it without you pressing the button. So we don't feed it automatically. It's really the user what needs to press it, and then we generate the the content screen.
But there's still the risk of the user pressing
Yeah.
it because they've got no idea it
Yeah.
will become
Yeah.
public.
All right, thank you for the questions. How is the build coming along? Awaiting in queue. This is what I feared. Maybe I have a question as well. What if I want to build that mobile application? Ron showed it already, but maybe you can show that live how we build that.
Yeah. So when you go to an application, you can add a new job. So I can say here, okay, I want to have a type of mobile, or I want to have an NG desktop version. So when I have a mobile thing, I can say, okay, ServoyCamp, mobile. That will navigate you to a configuration page where you can say, okay, what is the name, how it displayed into the App Store, version, you can upload a logo, all those things like Android or what type of build, Android debug or the Play Store or the iOS thing. iOS and Play Store needs sort of certificates what you need to upload. So when I enable this one all the way down, you see that it needs an Android key store, and for iOS it needs a different with a certificate. So when I check those, you need to upload those, and that's the same for the plugins. If you use certain plugins, then it gets built into that one, and then we generate an whole Cordova build in the background, and then you can download your packages and use them.
And these plugins like camera is really the camera function of my phone then, or the fingerprint function of my phone.
Yeah.
So I just need to check that, and then it works in my Servo application.
And that to use that, there is a package what you can use to use those services or those Cordovas
In the developer.
in your application.
So I need to change a little bit of code in the developer to use the fingerprint.
Yeah.
Okay. And the same thing for the NG desktop then.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. And what about the production environment then? How do I get it on there?
What about the production environment? Normally, you would say I do an Git merge into the production branch. That's not yet in the IDE, maybe for the future. But currently, if I go to my the Git tool, what I use, I can say, okay, check out production and merge that one. If I do that now, then later, but okay. Then, if I go into pipelines, I see the same production thing, and I can start that one, and then it asks me a question like, "Hey, do you really want to build it?" It's a little bit different than it is on the dev environment because production normally people are working on it. So at once you're like, "Hey, do you want to build it, or do you want to tag and build it?" And in the tags more in the background, we create a Git tag, so that you have your own versioning in your Git repository.
So the production environment is listening to the production Git branch, and if I commit something on there, I can build the code that is on the production branch, right? Yeah, if we start a build now, okay, dev is starting now. We can start a new build on production, but we probably won't see the end before the end of our presentation. But I think everyone gets the idea. Is there anything else that we want to show? There's many more features in Servoy Cloud that we can show now. But maybe I recommend everyone to just click on the start free trial. You get a repository, make a very basic application, or upload your whole application and see if that works too.
Now, what is sort of nice and what Johan always wants is that we should start testing the new version and start spamming him with cases if something is broken. So on a job, you can now say, okay, configure this job, what comes with a lot of properties. And here you can also select server versions. So I can actually build already the nightly version, what is 2023.12. But I can also do the nightly release, what if there will be a next one, it will be the 9.1. So I can already test those next versions without a new release. I can also use older versions, like I want to test something like, hey, this was working on the 22.12. Let me test that with it again. That's something what you can configure here. And the other nice thing what you get is sort of reports of your package. So if I go into this package, I see that there is a commit, there is one test passed, and there is a code conference. My phone goes crazy. If I go into this one, I can actually see like what happened. So I did a commit what fixed the sorting issue. I can download all the artifacts. So I can download the WAR file, I can download all the log files, and also the unit test. I can see my configuration changes, what I didn't change anything because there is no property change. And I can see the reports. So in this case, there is also a unit test and there is a code conference. So if I open that report, I can actually look like, hey, there is a unit test. What it's a sample unit test. It doesn't count on how many customers there are. And that one is successful. And it also has a code conference report that you can see, okay, this one, it is the ServoyCamp, and that one has a scope custom account, and it hits all the things. So it runs it once, that it goes inside the if statement, and one without the if statement, because that's sort of what you need to do for code conference. You need to do all different scenarios you need to test. And that sort of things to make it easier to set up all there in Servoy Cloud without you doing anything, without providing the unit test, because that we cannot really automate yet. I did try with OpenAI, but not there yet.
So the reporting and the unit tests, you can find that for every build as well.
Yeah.
That's nice. We probably won't see the end of the dev build, but it's just a function that is repaired now. The results will be put live on that URL that we looked at earlier. Maybe we have time for a few more questions. Yep. Just cut us off if we run out of time. If there are any questions. Ooh, the usual suspect.
On the AI part of the SQL query analysis, I can see the button, we've got it enabled on ours, and it's disabled currently, but it says it's only available for custom queries.
This will change.
That will change, so it will be available for things like QB selects.
It is in the same release what I have here. It will be.
Okay.
Yeah, so the version that you are seeing is a little bit older than the version that Rene is showing, because we wanted to show the state of the art there.
The Servoy mobile thingy is NG packed in Cordova.
Yeah.
It's not the old mobile client.
No.
Who else? Anyone on that side? Only been on this side and neglected that side. No one? No questions? Okay, then I think we hit our time pretty well. Is there anything that we missed, Rene? There's probably a lot we
There
didn't
is a lot
plan.
to tell, but-
There's a lot we didn't plan for, but nothing we missed. That's good. I want you all to try out that free trial, see if it works for you. Give us your feedback on if it works and especially if it doesn't work. Because I saw a lot of hands with people with an NG or Titanium application that are not in the cloud. So maybe this could be interesting, at least to play around with, see how we do things. And I hope to hear from some of you if it worked and if you liked it or not. Thank you very much.